Okay, we're back. We got Harley here. He's going to help us. Brought him in off pasture, and he wants to help us today. But this rain is raining on our barn, so he's a little concerned. So we're going to help him relax. And how we do that is we relax ourselves, take a breath, present to him that it'll be just fine, and attract him to us. And so I'm Justin Dunn. This is American Mustang School. Harley's an American Mustang. And I asked him to help me with this show today, bring you the law of relativity. And it's the 9th law that we're going to share in our series of universal laws, natural laws, the ones that we need to know to play this game of life, how to not get hurt, how to benefit, how to help them not get hurt, how to help them benefit in the human element. See, he's nature. He lived in nature as a wild horse. He was taught to think to survive, analyze things in life and death because it's that serious to him. We are nature. We come into the human element just the same way. And we need to learn the game of life. And these laws of nature will actually give us the ability to learn how to not get hurt and how to benefit and navigate this life to create what it is we want to create, come to fulfill. So it's pretty cool. And if you're curious about it, you came to the right spot. I got to learn these things from horses. I got to go up into the mountains of Colorado and invested many years learning through conscious contact what I'm getting ready to teach you in this little video. Now, what I'm going to share with you is just a glimpse of what this law really represents. I'm doing this video more for myself so I can refer to it later in life, but what I choose to do today, I know prepares me for tomorrow. And what I choose to do today and looking at past experiences will determine how I experience today and the future. And I'll go into that with more explanation. Wild Mustang horses were my accountability partner. They helped me raise my awareness of myself and what I perceived of myself through presentation to the wild horse and how they perceived me and gave me feedback on what I presented. So it gives a perception, also many perspectives. And that's what we're going to kind of focus on is perspective with this law. Law of relativity, very important. It's character development, as I've said in other videos. You know, you want to create your character. You want to define it. Want to know and understand it. And knowing about these laws is one thing, but actually knowing them is another. And wild horses allowed me to know them because I had to apply them in our relationship. Each wild horse that I came into contact all through the years, I know one thing. I know they live in accordance with those laws. They understand them. They live them. And when I would not understand them or abide in them, live in them, they would let me know. Sometimes subtly, sometimes very obvious. So the law of relativity helps us understand each problem or challenge or hardship that we face is a learning experience. So can you just kind of imagine, like, this wild horse, it had never been touched. I was the first one to touch him. And how many challenges that we both went through. You know, he's trying to figure out what the human element is about, and I'm trying to figure out what the wild horse is about. Well, in going through that, I got to figure out myself. I got to go inward, present outward. I got to discover myself. And then ultimately, I want to master myself in any situation that I'm with the horse, you know, a challenge or an obstacle or a hardship, however that could be defined. But what I'd like to look at defining it is as an opportunity. So as I started to learn with the Mustangs, with the wild horses, started to discover each engagement presented a set of challenges, but they also presented opportunities to learn something. So it kind of shifted my perspective from like, oh man, this is going to be hard. This horse, he's not getting it today, to, well, why is he not getting it? Is it something I got to change within myself, present to him to get a more better, deliberate presentation so that he can learn what it is that I expect? He's an accountability partner, I'll just say that. And what I mean by that is, if it's not working, it's probably not right. So if I make a change here and present again and it starts to work, then it's right. So then we start to discover, like, okay, this law of relativity, how can I use that to help me enhance this relationship? Well, it will define challenges as not something to look at as bad. It'll help you redefine them as an opportunity, and it's something good. So each time you engage in that, you start to get a deeper understanding of yourself within that. So they'll notice it, and then it just reaffirms, hey, you're on the right track. So you can continue to grow and develop into something much better than what you started. So a transition takes place, and then you get to start building on that transition. So you develop a skill of awareness for one, and then a skill of horsemanship, a horse-human relationship. And then obstacles become, less and less as an obstacle and more of an opportunity for growth. So you grow through what you go through. If you've never heard that, just kind of repeat that to yourself a few times to get a deeper understanding of it. Whatever you're going through, you're going to grow. There's a lesson in there. A struggle, whatever you might define as a hardship or a struggle or an obstacle, just know it's an opportunity. With this particular horse, he was considered untrainable. And a lot of opinions were thrown around as far as why. And they said he was untrainable. So I don't ever really take that to heart. I would rather ask the horse myself and then get the truth from them. Well, and that's this developing a skill, of awareness. I can actually grow in that skill or grow that skill through experience, and each challenge or opportunity to learn something about him, about a situation that we're both going through. I'm going to tell you some stories about some of the horses that I trained as we go on, but I want to bring your focus into this video as change perception or perspective. And whenever you can do that, it's not so easy to change someone else's perceptions of things, but it's easy to help them see it from a different perspective. So he's creeping up here. I'm just going to ask him to back up. There you go, buddy. Right there. One more step. Good job. Good job. This rain trickling on that tin roof of this barn, he's kind of like, I don't know about this. I see a big wide opening I can go through. So let's just stay here and make a video. I love playing with them. So when we get back to understanding perception, perspectives, I wanted to always be the horse. So kind of like a shape-shifting practice. It's like I want to look from his perspective to help him change his perception of me. So if I look through his eyes back at me, and we play with all of the things that I teach horses and then ask horses so they can teach me, we'll call it training each other. All of the things that we go through, I trade places with the horse and treat them like I'd want to be treated if the roles were reversed. So I intentionally kind of shapeshift where I'm the horse. And I think, okay, if this human was doing this to me, how would I want the human to do it? So I get an opportunity to see it from his perspective to help him change his perception of me. Hopefully this is making sense. I can actually show you this better probably than explain it. But I'm going to explain it just for the sake of the video and show you that it works, this law of relativity. How we look at the past determines our present, also has an effect on our future. So if I look at a past experience with this particular horse as, well, that was a bad experience, I give it a value label of bad. Well, it's going to change my present thinking and presentation to alter the future in some way. Maybe it's not going to be desirable. But if I look at a past experience and go, oh man, that was an opportunity for growth. We learned a lot. I can utilize what I learned rather than focusing on anything bad. I can look at what we learned, use it now, and then present to him for a better, desirable outcome, and then basically have an effect on the future that I want. So what we do in horsemanship is get to reflect on those challenges. We get to see the benefit from a different perspective. And I love to be able to do that in real time with a brand new horse. As an example, if I've played with this horse for a long, long time, and then I get a brand new wild horse to come in, all of the things that I learned with him in the past gives me a perspective that I choose to look at that past in, and I get to present it to a new horse in the present, which will enhance the future, which will determine the future as desirable or undesirable. And then I get to quick make changes and following all these other laws that we spoke of in past videos to create a relationship that is beneficial to me and the horse. Life enrichment. Learn how to not get hurt in the relationship, in life, together, doing the things we do. This is one perspective I really like. If I had listened to all the people that told me this horse was untrainable, I probably would have failed because I would maybe have quit. Well, I'm here to tell you, you never fail if you don't quit. You may have temporary defeat, but if you keep going, you can course correct and you can succeed. This horse represents that for me because there were times where I considered, man, maybe they're right. Maybe this guy is not trainable. But then take a deep breath, recalibrate, offer something to him that I maybe hadn't offered to another horse prior. Let's just see what happens. Let's see if it works. In training horses and Mustangs, there's just so many challenges or opportunities to learn that I realize those challenges and opportunities happen for me, not to me. It was something that I got another perspective on, and then I wanted more. So I got really good at reading horses and playing with horses regardless of outside influences like what other people told me about them or what they had done in the past based on someone's perspective. It's how they chose to look at that past experience with that particular horse. Well, I want to know from the horse because I'm going to offer him truth and honesty from me, like, hey, tell me what you need. I want to be there to provide it. If you're uncomfortable, I want to help you be comfortable. If you're desiring just a release, I want to give you the release. If you're desiring to learn, I want to help you learn. If you're curious, I want to cure your curiosity. It's kind of one of those things where we want to follow a system to get predictable and desirable results, in which I did create over the years through skill and experience and the challenges and opportunities. And it was one of the things today I get to draw upon. So that's why I want to make this video for you and myself to watch now and in the future and get a deeper understanding that you can create today what you want for tomorrow. You can create today what you want for today, and you get a choice. That law of relativity gives us a choice to change our perspective, how we look at things in the past or how we look at a challenge, and then create what it is we want through understanding that we do have a choice. This law helps us define our character, because what are we doing this for anyway? We're character developing. We're manifesting a character into a reality. I want to create a character in him that I can call upon to help me with a mission. What we do here at American Mustang School. People come in from all walks of life. They may be a 7-year-old autistic child. It may be a 40-year-old special forces guy. It may be a 72-year-old retiree lady. I have all walks of life, and those are just some examples. But I would like to ask him to help them at whatever level of understanding they are. So I've got to create an understanding in him of what character I can create in ourselves, but what character can I expect from him? So what we think, what we do, we become. So what he thinks and what he does, he becomes. So what if the horse could have a perspective change or a perception change? So say a horse comes in and he's traumatized from abuse. Well, from right here today, I can start changing his perception of people. You know, I'm a people, so I present people to the horse, and I can start to change his perception immediately. And then as time goes on, each experience or event he has with me could be something he looks back on as a choice of, say, humans are not so bad. And we replace those thoughts that humans are bad with thoughts that humans are not so bad, because they get a choice. And we offer a choice. We give them a voice to tell me what it is I can help you enrich your life. And that's the way we should operate. We get a choice. We have to go inward, analyze it, make an assessment. What are you thinking about today? What are you thinking about regarding the past? What are you thinking about regarding the future? And then make a choice to either continue to think that or change your perspective and change your thinking. So whatever you're thinking, you're probably saying. Whatever you're saying, you're probably doing. Whatever you're doing, you're creating a habit. Whatever your habit is, your character. So it's pretty cool. Whenever you start to ascend consciously, you look at challenges or opportunities differently. You look at, what are they that I can do to grow? What are they that I can do to become something that I desire? You can look at life as it unfolds a little easier because you're releasing judgment. You're not holding so much judgment based on past experiences. You're looking through the lens of another perspective. I want to see from his perspective. I want to see from another horse's perspective what I'm presenting to them based on their feedback. And I get to make changes and continue to do it again in the feedback loop. Well, that's a micro scale. But in the macro, what am I presenting to the world? What experience am I looking at, say, from my childhood, where society tries to condition or program my thinking? What do I look at that experience as today? Well, I'll be straight up, man. I think I used to look at it as something that I didn't like. Well, now I look at it as like, oh, that was just a learning experience. That was a lesson that I could do. Go ahead and turn this way. That was a lesson that I could do, go through, and grow from. So whatever you go through, you grow. You grow through. So stay right here, Harley. I'm going to flip this board. He's like, man, I really want to go outside because this rain on this roof is a little annoying. Is it annoying? All right, so we're going to talk about this law of relativity and how we can apply it in all areas of our life. So like flow state in all areas of our life. We're not going to force it. We're not going to take it. It's attracted to us. This deeper understanding of ourselves. We're going to present, observe, make changes, and flow. Our skill, our experience get developed in each challenge or opportunity. Those challenges or opportunities are how we learn. So if you try to take on too big of a challenge, or the opportunity is just so great that it's hard to see it as an opportunity. It's like a struggle or it's a hardship. You get an opportunity to look at it as like, okay, I can take a break. I can break it into tinier pieces. I could compare it to someone else's struggle or hardship. There's all these choices you can make to really look at it through different perspectives. He's like, I'm leaving. Stay right here. And when we do that, it gives you power. You get a choice. And whenever you have a choice, it's rewarding. It's enriching. And you start to learn this game of life much better. So I wanted to tell you a few stories, and then I got to kind of reiterate why we do this. We do this so we can learn how to love, learn how to be loved, and learn how to love. That's the important thing. Do you need confirmation that everything's going to be okay? Okay, let me give you some confirmation. So it's fly season, guys, and our flies have just eat this horse to pieces. And that's one of the reasons he's here today. I'm going to give him some medicine to help with that. And it happens to be raining outside. And the rain's on the tin roof. It's kind of like, I don't really appreciate that. So I wanted to give you a story or an example. When you look at the past as an experience, or past experience as an opportunity to learn and grow, you got to look at them as like, what exactly, reflective thinking, what exactly happened in that? So you embrace that perspective in regard to what did I learn from it? So I'd go train wild horses. I'm thinking of one in particular. I'd go out there and I'd have a lot on my mind. So I would be walking out to his pen and he would turn and run away. And I'd stop right in my tracks the very first time and wonder, what the heck? Well, immediately I thought, well, I've got to change something today that I did yesterday to create more draw. Create a draw for the horse to want to be with me, attract him to come to me. And then it gave me a different perspective on why he ran away. It's like, okay, let's look at me. What was I presenting to him for him to run away? Well, I would take a deep breath, relax his shoulders, and then I would realize, okay, I was walking out to him with a lot on my mind, everything but this, engagement. And he was still concerned with me, like, hey, I don't know you. I'm not real sure about you. This is the human element, and I haven't really got comfortable here yet. And then I'd realize, okay, I've got to come into this present moment and help him understand what I'm presenting to him is real right here, right now. So I would walk different. When I was walking out to him, my heels would strike the ground real hard. My eyes would be down at the dirt. My mind would be somewhere else. I'd be breathing short and shallow. I'd be tense in the shoulders. All of these things I would recognize as an unconscious presentation to the horse. So then I would make a change, immediate. Transmute that energy into like, okay, I'm going to slow down. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to drop my shoulders. I'm going to walk with my eyes up, and I'm not going to strike the ground with such intent that, I'm on a mission. And he would come right to the gate. And I'm like, yeah, this is that. Wow, what a change. So I would continue to do that each and every time. And then I start to realize when I would forget to do that, the result would be the same. And when I would consciously do what I was supposed to do or needed to do to create the desired results, he'd be at the gate. So looking back on that today, man, what a valuable learning experience. I can actually remember back then, there were days where I was in a little bit too much of a hurry, and the result he'd run away, and I would immediately get frustrated. And I'd go into a way of thinking like, oh, you're going to waste our time. I don't have much time. I got to get this done. I got other horses. I got other things. So it's like, okay, make the change, see the result, and then you actually went faster, further. And then that challenge or that opportunity presented something to learning experience that benefited me, the horse, and many times later, other horses and myself in that learning experience. So the next challenge or opportunity, I could make a choice and I could see how I want to view it. I could look at it as a frustration, or I could look at it as, wow, that was such a great learning experience. I can't wait to go play with a horse today and see what challenge arises. And then be able to learn something, and then it helps in so many other areas of our life, like flow state and other areas. So like our health, sometimes we get sick. That's no fun. And recently, I got a little sick, and it's like I could look at that as, oh man, I'm going to waste so much time not getting things done or this and that. Or I can look at it as, oh man, my body's telling me I need to rest. So I could go relax, take some time, and just embrace being sick. And it's like, well, that's kind of a weird way to look at something, but I actually look at it as a benefit to rest because I'm a go, go, go type guy. So resting for a day or two and just relaxing the mind, relaxing the body was a benefit. And then I can come out of that so much stronger. It's a beautiful thing, that law of all these laws, every law of nature that these guys abide in is such a beautiful benefit. That law of relativity really is a good one. I also would like to end with this. Embrace other perspectives, because I can't go learn or see through every horse in the world or every other person in the world's eyes. I will never be able to do that. But I can listen to their perspective on something. I can embrace that. As I was talking earlier, whenever I would go and pretend, okay, I'm the horse, I'm going to look at it through the horse's eyes, basically shapeshift into this guy and look at it through his eyes. You can actually do that with people. You can listen to them and kind of gain an understanding of their perspective, especially in real time. Like if you're presenting something and you're thinking you're presenting it in a certain way, and from your perspective or your perception of what you're presenting, it may be totally different. You know, I've done that so many times with horses. I'll present something, and from, you know, the way I perceived how they should perceive was two way opposites. So embrace other perspectives. Learn all you can and hold on to what's good. It'll move you closer to your purpose. This video itself actually is helping me move closer to my purpose. I want to look at this life as from many perspectives as I can. Horses let me do that a lot. You know, I'd ride many different horses in the mountains, the beach, in town, out in the middle of nowhere, through the desert. It didn't matter where we were. It didn't matter which horse I was on. I was always trying to get new perspective, new experience, gain knowledge, gain wisdom, gain understanding, and learn love. Learn how to love. That's the key. Whenever you can figure out like everything you're doing is for that purpose, like I want to learn how to love deeper, I want to learn how to love more, I want to learn how to be loved. That single focal point, all encapsulating point, helps you understand this game of life. It's gradual. The horses, they guide me to course correct, and I love that about them. You know, it's not quick, one and done. It'd be boring if it was that way. We're almost finished, buddy. We're almost finished. And until we know how to get our own power from nature, we're going to suffer, probably unnecessarily, because we'll look at suffering as something very bad, and it could actually be debilitating, and it could actually be defeating. But if we know these laws, we embrace these laws, it actually allows us to understand it's just temporary defeat. But if we don't quit, we never fail. And then as we move beyond that temporary defeat, we can look back at it and go, wow, that was actually an opportunity to learn and grow. And then you look forward to like more challenges. Now you learn how to regulate how much challenge you want to bite off through experience and learning how to stay balanced in harmony, agreement with things. And then you get like a superpower. You can actually create the circumstances you want. And then you are in control of how much struggle you choose to struggle, or how much you choose to look at something as a struggle. And when you release that pain, you will attract what it is you truly desire to fulfill the purpose you were called here to fulfill. This life is a wonderful experience. We cannot have good without bad. We cannot learn how to appreciate a high without a low. We wouldn't even understand what white is without black, or the contrast, comparing. It's very important. All the perspectives, they mean something. They're valuable. There's hidden meaning in nature. We have to unlock what it is that's being hidden. Horses are like a gateway into nature to reveal those hidden secrets. I love that about them. They abide in these laws of nature. When we align with those, they will do whatever it is we ask them to do. I mean, he's living proof. He's standing here ground tied. Obviously, he could run away. He knows that. And he does try to creep away. And then it's my job to ask him, hey, just, so like he took a step, I'll ask him, hey, take one step back. And this pressure is a question. And I'll just keep asking until he does. Good job. The release of the pressure is a thank you. He knows that question. We've talked this way. He just got a tension in the mouth release. That's a reflection of what he's thinking. He's relaxing. And then he will do what I ask him to do, because he's not in fear of me or what it is we're doing. He's more desiring to get out from under this noisy metal roof. But this is kind of a challenge. I can help him through this challenge and show him, hey, look, it's an opportunity to grow in understanding that the human element, the metal barn, the tractors, the video camera, all of these things are not going to hurt you. They're only going to give you a higher level of consciousness, awareness in the human element. And those are things that we've got to understand. Now, I wouldn't want to push him too fast, too soon if he wasn't capable of learning. But I know this horse. He's been with me quite a while, over a decade. So this guy is definitely capable of standing on ground tie, which is a mutual understanding of where you can relax and be comfortable. When you're not, I'll help you be comfortable, and we go back and relax. And then we can hang out together, accomplish something internally, externally, and abide in these laws and enrich our lives, because it's just as beneficial for him as it is for me to bring this video to you in so many ways. And when I watch this in the future, I can learn through this experience how to be better, what to do to be better. And that's the point. That's the point of even making this video, how to learn to grow and develop into something better, transition from where I am today to where I want to be. And sometimes we have to just break it down into simple, each law, practice it, talk about it, embrace it, engage it. So he's telling me, he's like, I am so done, Dad. I don't want to do this anymore. I would rather get out of here, not stand in here and talk on a video. So I'll ask you to stay right there, Harley. I'm going to come just turn this video camera off. And thank you guys for watching, and share with all your friends or anybody that you think would need to learn this. And I've got an escapee. Got to go get him. Bye-bye.